Well, thanks very much for the introduction, and thanks to all of you that have taken the time this morning to learn about biomedical engineering at UVic. My name is Chris Dennison. I'm a professional engineer in the province of British Columbia, Canada, and I'm currently the program director for biomedical engineering here at UVic and an associate professor of mechanical engineering. And what I'm going to do today is to introduce the biomedical engineering program at UVic to you, give you some basic information that you might want to know in case you're considering traveling abroad to study in Canada, in particular at UVic. And I'll try to highlight a few new and exciting initiatives in the biomedical program that you might want to be aware of as people that are new to the field. So biomedical engineering at UVic is a program that has a well-designed vision statement that's meant to position our graduates for careers in biomedical engineering. Our program prepares graduates for work within the biomedical community and industry with healthcare professionals, medical doctors, bioscientists, and engineers. The program will train biomedical engineers in the application of biological and medical science discoveries to the design, development, and application of practical technologies needed for human healthcare, medicine, and society. And so one of the things I'd like you to take away from this slide is the fact that biomedical engineering is an interdisciplinary field of engineering where students like yourself would get to learn engineering knowledge from engineers, but also you would get to gain knowledge in medical sciences in addition to that. And if you go into a career in biomedical engineering, that learning process would continue and you'd have the opportunity to work with both engineers, scientists, clinicians, and medical doctors, making it a career that is incredibly exciting and provides many opportunities for lifelong learning and growth. The biomedical engineering program at the University of Victoria has a program coordinator, Ms. Catherine Waring, that's available to answer any questions that you might have as a prospective student. The final slide of my presentation today will have Ms. Waring's contact information so that you can reach out and ask us any questions that you might have about biomedical engineering or engineering at UVic more broadly. Our program also has an external advisory board that is staffed primarily by people in the Canadian health sciences and medical device industry, including folks from Starfish Medical, Stem Cell Technologies, and Eupraxia Pharmaceuticals. We also have individuals with health regulatory experience, folks that know how to run hospitals from a biomedical engineering perspective, for example, at Island Health. And we have people from medical programs, the Division of Medical Sciences in the UBC, University of British Columbia Island Medical Program as well. And these individuals all contribute to the biomedical program to offer continuous improvement in our curriculum and help us to design new and exciting offerings to benefit students like yourself. The biomedical engineering program at UVic was the first accredited program in Western Canada, meaning that the biomedical engineering program underwent a rigorous review from Engineers Canada and was the first program in Canada to receive an official accreditation as a biomedical engineering program. Our graduates go on to a variety of opportunities, including medical school, graduate school, so that would be advanced research in the biomedical arena, and also industry, primarily in the field of medical devices. And our current student population within the biomedical program is approximately 160 students total. If you'd like to check us out on social media, you can see the Facebook and Twitter links at the bottom of the page. I recommend you take a look at those and keep up to date with new developments in our program. So let's get into the details of the biomedical engineering program at UVic. Well, the program comprises two main components: engineering technical courses, and in addition to that, a very important cooperative education program that allows students to work within either research settings at universities or hospitals, or in the commercial sector at medical device companies and biomedical companies to gain hands-on relevant experience in the engineering field so that they round out the theory that they learn in technical courses with real-world hands-on experiences. The degree takes nominally 5 years to complete, and as you can see by the tables at the bottom right of this slide, there are co-op terms referred to as work or other terms distributed throughout those 5 years, intermingled by the academic terms that you see. The number of biomedical co-op placements has been growing year over year. And I'd like to draw your attention to the trends for this data right here. So you can see that in the biomedical program, since it was started in 2011, going all the way to today in 2021, the number of placements of our co-op students has been growing rapidly, just like the other engineering disciplines at University of Victoria. And the minor dip that you see in 2021, this is a little bit of an artificial data point here because we hadn't finished tabulating these numbers at this point. But you can see that there's a general trend, meaning that there are lots of co-op and work opportunities in the Canadian biomedical landscape for students that might be interested, like yourselves. Now I'd like to shift focus a little bit away from the details of how the program is offered, talking now a little bit about some of the exciting things you can learn about if you join the biomedical engineering program. The first thing I'd like to talk about is biomechanics, medical robotics, and prosthetics. So biomechanics, broadly speaking, is the field that looks at how the musculoskeletal system functions as a mechanical system. Applications of biomechanics are many, but a few examples are shown by the images on the slide. Things like, as shown at the far left here, studying how cars protect humans in crash events. That's a field called trauma biomechanics. We can use biomechanics knowledge to make cars and other protective equipment within cars safer. The image at the bottom here shows an example of an X-ray using a spinal fixation device, and this is taken from the field of orthopedic biomechanics, which is concerned by many things, but one of the main focuses of orthopedic biomechanics is restoring the function of the human musculoskeletal system to being healthy, often through interventional medical devices like the spinal fixation device you see here. The image above that at center is a medical robot, often designed by engineers with both electrical engineering and biomechanical engineering expertise. And what you can see at the far right is a robotic hand, an example of an advanced prosthetic, another device that an engineer with biomechanics knowledge would be involved in designing. The engineering program at UVic has a lot of technical electives that focus on key skills that you would need to be active in this field and to gain employment if you were so inclined to pursue that as a field. The next field that we have a strong emphasis on is something called biomedical signal processing, also instrumentation and biosensing. So anybody that's visited a hospital for a scan of any type would know that often the imaging techniques we use to look at human body function are engineered devices. They're either electrical, optical, or sometimes magnetic based. And biomedical engineers contribute to the design of those devices by knowing a lot of the electromagnetic theory and other theories that go into making them work. The biomedical engineering program at UVic would prepare you for a design career in this field, working in things like ultrasound, magnetic resonance imaging, EEG, and ECG as examples. Another hot and emerging field in the area of biomedical engineering is biomaterials and tissue engineering. Biomaterials are any material that goes into the human body, usually put into the human body to restore a function of some tissue or system that is damaged in some way. Examples of biomaterials that you might be aware of are metal and plastic components that comprise things like artificial knees and artificial hips. More recently, with the advances of 3D bioprinting technologies, engineers have been able to contribute and help with bioprinting of tissue scaffolds to replace soft tissues in the human body, including things like cartilage and other soft tissues like that, all in an effort to restore the function and health of a human body system. For example, a knee with a torn ligament or a knee with a torn cartilage layer. So, like with the other two specializations that I just showed you before, we have many technical electives within the biomedical engineering program that will give you the knowledge base that you would require to work and study in a field focused on biomaterials. The last thing I'd like to tell you about is a new initiative that we're pursuing here at UVic focused on digital health. So as you know already, the Internet of Things and things like wearable sensors, smartphones, and the internet can all combine to give engineers rich data sets on which they can use to study human health and to make decisions about human health. Well, that process of using digital data from the Internet of Things takes a special knowledge base because the data sets that are generated are quite large and cannot be analyzed by single people sitting in offices. Instead, we need to use custom software algorithms and machine learning algorithms to look at the data and make smart decisions and safe decisions based on it. That's the field of digital health. This is a program specialization that we're currently designing, and we hope to be offering in the next year, perhaps two, for new students, including folks like yourself that might be wanting to get into the biomedical field, focused more on the digital health technology side of things. Biomedical engineering at UVic is well aligned with both the province of British Columbia, Canada, and the University of Victoria's strategic priorities for health engineering and health research. As you can see by these two text boxes shown on the slide, biomedical engineering is featured in strategic plans of both our UVic Health Initiative and the UVic Strategic Document Aspiration 2030, which calls on the importance of both the biomedical engineering field and biomedical determinants in terms of both funding, university development, and student recruitment. Everything I've spoken about up until this point was our undergraduate program in biomedical engineering, and I'd like to also alert you to another graduate level program called the MEng in Biomedical Systems that will be offered for the first time in the fall of 2022. This is a graduate program, so this would be open to students that have already done a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering or a related field. And at the graduate level, the Master's of Engineering in Biomedical Systems comprises 5 core courses, 4 electives, and then a technical project. And this is a type of program that can be used to come to Canada and gain valuable work experience that would allow you to license as a professional engineer practicing in the biomedical field within the country of Canada. You can see from the list of courses that I've got displayed here at the right that we have a really broad array of courses that would give anybody advanced knowledge in biomedical engineering, focusing on biomedical systems. We have examples like medical device and system design, biosensors, human physiology, human factors. And from the list of electives at the bottom of the slide, we have a lot of the things that I've touched upon already on previous slides, examples including bioprinting, biomaterials, and many, many other things. So as you can see, the breadth of courses that are available to you covers a wide array of topics that would be required for a career at the advanced level in the biomedical. So I'd recommend you to check out the link at the bottom of the slide if you'd all interested in graduate studies in the biomedical engineering. The students that come to UVic and study have a really rich experience and often get involved in student clubs. And the photograph I've shown you here is for the BMed team, the UVic Biomedical Engineering Design Team, a group of young, primarily undergraduate students that tackle design challenges in the biomedical arena and travel to design competitions, usually throughout North America, but sometimes across the world, to present what they design and often win many, many competitions and have a great time doing it. This is a great complement to their undergraduate studies that gives them some real world experience competing with their counterparts at other universities across the globe. And that would be another opportunity that would be available to you if you came to UVic to study. If you'd like to learn more about anything that I talked about today, feel free to reach out to our BME program coordinator, Ms. Waring at bme.coord@uvic.ca, or you can check out the website that I've got displayed and linked at the bottom right of the slide. You can find information on all of the programs that I've talked about today and new ones that are going to be under development if you check out that webpage from time to time. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. So I'll pass the presentation and Zoom back to the organizers, and I'm happy to take any questions at this time or wait until the end of the seminar and answer questions at that point.
Here. So yeah, I think I actually learned a lot about biomedical engineering. I don't know about the audience today. It was very interesting. Also, I'd like to share a couple of web pages that it's actually related to a core program as a biomedical engineering student, and then program requirements in the program. So I think it may be helpful for you to answer your questions. So co-op, biomedical. Okay, so this is one link. So in that document, you can see the co-op options and then also career possibilities when you graduate from this program. So I think that's a great document that you can read. Also, I want to share the program planning sheet. Sorry about the noise from my keyboard. So this is a program planning sheet. So this is a guideline for our students to help them to plan their courses and then register for courses in each year. So this, you don't have to really follow this guideline exactly, but this is a guideline that it shows all the required courses for you to earn a degree as a biomedical engineering student. So that's another one. Also, I want to share just a page. This is at the Department of Biomedical Engineering webpage. So in there, Dr. Dennison actually shared a screenshot of the webpage during his presentation. And then I think it's very helpful for you to kind of review the information on the website, because there's a lot of helpful information about careers, co-op program, and the industrial connections and pathways to medicine. So I think this is a good place for you to review more extra additional information. Okay, so now I am going to tell you a little bit more about UVic. So my presentation is not going to be too long. I'm expecting about 15 minutes. So we can talk about admission requirements later on, and then I will tell you a little bit about where we are located, and then what we are, who we are, and then what co-op programs we offer. So because the careers after you graduate is very important, and it is important to us as well. Okay, so if, just in case you did not Google us before this workshop, or you don't know where we are exactly located, if you know where we are exactly located, this is going to be a quick slide. So we are very close from Vancouver and Seattle. So University of Victoria is located in Victoria, and then Victoria is located on Vancouver Island. So Vancouver Island is westernmost part of Canada. So it's the size of an island. So the size of this Vancouver Island is about equivalent to Hawaii. Or in Indonesia, I kind of Googled it, and then it's a similar size of Central Java. So it's not a small island. It's not a huge island. It's a medium size. It's a good size that we have everything on the island. So a lot of people never feel the need to leave the island, actually. So, so this is in the map, as you can see that, so we are on the island, and then you can see Vancouver on the map. So you can see the Vancouver. So from Victoria to Vancouver, there are 3 different ways you can get to Vancouver when you are in Victoria. So one is by ferry. So that will be the easiest, most convenient, and most affordable way for you to visit Vancouver. So that takes about 90 minutes from Victoria to Vancouver. You can fly. If you are flying actually from Indonesia to Canada, you may transfer your flight from Vancouver or Toronto to Victoria. So if you're transferring your flight from Vancouver to Victoria, it will take about 20 minutes. So the plane takes off, and then you are already landing. So it's a very quick, short flight. There's a seaplane, small seaplane. It leaves from Victoria downtown to Vancouver downtown as well. That takes about 30 minutes as well. So it's very close. And you can see on the map, we are very close from Seattle too. So there's a ferry to go to Seattle that takes about 3 hours. So there is a lot of ways for you to travel around within, I guess, within North America or to other parts of the world. So the Victoria is the biggest city of Vancouver Island, and is a medium size city by Canadian standards. So the reason why I say this is by Canadian standards is because there's a lot of large cities in the world, and then maybe the city itself, the size probably same as Victoria, but has a much larger population. So our population in the Greater Victoria is about 367,000. because I mentioned we are westernmost part of Canada, and then we are quite south. So we are the sunniest major city in the province, so in the British of Columbia. So in the summertime, it doesn't get too hot. So the average temperature is about 22. It sometimes will go above 30, but only a few days in the summertime. And then winter time, the average temperature is about 8. So it does go below 0 sometimes for a few days in the winter time. Especially actually this year, we had more colder days this winter, and then we had more hotter days in the last summer. So I think that this is due to climate change. This is happening everywhere, unfortunately. You did probably hear about that. Vancouver gets lots of rain. So, but compared to Vancouver, Victoria still gets less, 50% less rain than Vancouver, and then 25% less than Seattle. So, you know, it's the temperature wise, I know you don't get the tropical, the Indonesian amazing tropical climate, but we do have, our city doesn't get too cold. It doesn't get lots of snow, very little snow, just only for maybe a few times a winter time. And it doesn't get too hot either. So when everybody thinks that Canada is just a very cold place, but not Victoria or Vancouver. So I think you can probably relate it to one of these images in the rainforest. So we have lots of a rainforest on the island. You can just go to a park actually near UVic, and then you feel like you are in the middle of the forest. So we have a lot of spectacular rainforest landscapes in the world, and then you can just go for a hike, go for a run in the woods throughout the year. Victoria is a capital city of British Columbia. So we have this beautiful legislature building right in downtown waterfront. Downtown from UVic, it's not that far. So it takes about 20 minutes by bus. So it's very convenient, and there's a lot to see in downtown, like the shops, the small shops, like kind of small boutique shops, so local independent retailers. There are a lot of shops in downtown. There are lots of international cuisine restaurants and places for you to see. So it's very cute, and it's a very nice place. And also, actually, I just want to point out that there were some students ask me, because Victoria is very big on the tourism. So they were wondering if in the wintertime, non-tourist season, that there's no one, if Victoria becomes a ghost town. So it's not that, because we are not really the tropical beach goers, the tourism. So we actually have tourists all year round, of course, during non-COVID times. So even in the winter time, of course, there are always people in downtown, and then there is a shopping mall that it's open throughout the year. So you don't really have to worry about being maybe boring in Victoria, or not have nothing to do while you are at school at UVic. Also, we take brunch seriously. So there's a lot of brunch restaurants in Victoria, as well as international cuisine and other restaurants. So there's Chinatown, there is a bubble tea stores, there is Southeast Asian restaurants. So there's a lot for you to explore and enjoy a different cuisine. This, of course, Victoria also vibrates with the events year-round, because thanks to the nice climate. So one of the biggest festivals we have is on Canada Day, which is July 1st. So hopefully this festival will return in July this year. I'm not really sure yet, but other like concerts and other sporting events and markets, those activities actually have returned. So we just had Santana, we had the Imagine Dragons, we are going to have Foo Fighters in October, but due to their members of death, the death of one of their drummers, so they got canceled, unfortunately. I bought tickets, so I couldn't go now. Yeah, so those festivals and then the activities are coming back slowly. So by the time when you're in Victoria, I really hope that we are back to normal. As I mentioned, we are a tourist hub. And then also this Victoria and Vancouver Island is not just a tourist destination for international travelers. It is also a destination for a lot of Canadians. So they travel all the way from like Toronto, Nova Scotia, different part of Canada. So you will see a lot of tourists, and it's beautiful, and it's just the environment is very welcoming. So this image is from Butcher Gardens. So usually this Butcher Gardens have receive millions of tourists visit every year. And it's not far from UVic either. So it takes about 30 minutes by bus from UVic. This is a houseboats at the Fisherman's Wharf. This is right in downtown. So if you like fish and chips, there's a great place to have a fish and chips and ice cream just to walk around. You don't have, so it's kind of, actually people live in those houses. So it's a very interesting and very cute community. So it's also very, it's a great the tourist destination as well. Okay, so let's talk about UVic now. So this is the image of our UVic campus. So as you can see, we are surrounded by lots of trees and water as well. So you can see, so these all around. So these are all kind of like a UVic property, but the main part is this ring road. So all of your classrooms would be located within this ring road, including the Faculty of Engineering and the Computer Science. And then your residence would be around here. And then there's a walking trail. It's about 3 kilometers. And then actually there is a walking trail all around the campus that's about 4 kilometers as well. And then from your residence, if you are staying on the campus housing, from your residence building to your classroom, it would take about 10 minutes on foot. You can bike, but you cannot drive inside of this ring road. So I heard actually it's quite unique for a lot of university compared to other university campuses, because you may see a lot of cars in other campuses, but this one, at UVic, inside the ring road, you are not allowed to drive. So it's a very safe environment. So it's not far at all. And then you can see there's a beach down here, so you can walk down there. It takes about 10 minutes on foot as well. There's a coffee shops, there are restaurants, and then just walk around. It's a beautiful beach actually, so you should check it out. Also, we often say our campus is like a park-like campus because we have about 200 acres of green space. So this is equivalent to about 100 soccer fields. So you can't really tell, maybe you may not be able to really tell by the image how our campus is like a park, but actually when you come to the campus, there are lots of trees, there is a forest, there is a garden, there's lots of trees, so it feels like it's a park. So a lot of people, not just the students or people work at the university. So there are a lot of locals also in the neighborhood. They come to campus just for a walk with their dog or with their friends. This photo I wanted to share with you because our campus just looks like this right now. So lots of cherry blossom trees right now. And then in the fall, all the trees will turn red and then it will be beautiful. So our university is just kind of medium-sized university by Canadian standards as well. So it's just the right size for you to connect with your peers, your friends, your professors, and just to kind of, and then create a vibrant learning community. Sustainability also is a key part of every major field at UVic, including biomedical engineering and then other engineering programs, because from clean energy to ocean and climate, so UVic research is at the forefront of sustainability breakthrough. So let's talk about who we are. So our students and our community are a key part of our success. They make UVic a great place to study, learn, live, and inspire change. As I mentioned earlier, UVic is a medium-sized university. So our we have about 22,000 students studying on the campus. As you can see, about 20% of our total student population is international, coming from more than 100 countries. I want to point out this very important fact that we are actually destination university. So the reason why we are destination university is because 86% of our students come from outside of Greater Victoria. So not just you coming from Indonesia or other parts of the world, there are so many Canadians. They come from like Nova Scotia, Ontario, or Alberta. As you know, Canada is a big country. So the culture in the different provinces, are quite different. The people move to Victoria from other parts of Canada also need the time to adjust or to connect with the people, start engage in their community. So we have lots of programs for new students so they can start to build their community and to be part of the community at UVic. So we at UVic, we take care of each other because we know our students are everything for us. So whether it's encouraging students to look out for each other, promoting responsible behavior, or providing programs and services. So student safety is our top priority. And then we have a 24/7 campus security services. So if you happen to study really late at night on the campus and you are not feeling you don't feel comfortable to walk to your residence building by yourself at night, even though it's quite safe campus, but so then you can pick up a phone, you can call our campus services, security services, and then they can come pick you up where you are and then walk with you to your residence building. So there's a lot of services that we provided to make sure our students feel safe. They are on campus. UVic is also consistently ranked among the top Canadian comprehensive universities. So actually this year rather, that we are ranked the top highest ranked comprehensive universities in Canada. So if you are not familiar with the comprehensive university, means that we conduct a significant amount of research and offer a wide range of undergraduate, graduate, and then professional programs. And also very important, we ranked number 2 for student satisfaction in Canada as well. So, of course, a lot of you may be interested in the biomedical engineering program, the reason why you are here. But we also have 10 faculties offer over 100 programs at the undergraduate level. So we have faculty of business, education, engineering and computer science, fine arts, human and social development, humanities, law, science, and social sciences. And within the engineering and computer science faculty, we also offer software engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering we talked about, and then finally civil engineering, and then of course a computer science program as well. So there are a lot of options. I'm going to, so if you want to just kind of learn a little bit more about the programs, like, you are here on the biomedical engineering, but if you want to know about computer engineering, or even as a biomedical engineering student, you will have room to take other courses offered by different departments within the engineering faculty, or even offered by other faculty. So you have a more flexibility of, you have a room to take courses to broaden your knowledge while you are a student at UVic. So inside the classroom, like your classroom may look like this very traditional, typical large lecture hall, but your class won't be like this every day or every course. Maybe even for the same course, maybe one day you'll be in this large lecture hall, but then often you will be broken up into smaller groups. like labs or tutorials. So then you talk about what you learned during the lecture, or discuss your ideas from what you learned from your courses as well. So earlier we had some questions about our co-op program, and then Dr. Dennis also touched on the engineering co-op programs too. So I want to point out that we are one of the best comprehensive university for preparing career-ready students. So about 43% of our students enroll in a co-op. So earlier we had the questions whether our co-op program is optional or mandatory. So for some programs, co-op is mandatory. So that's a part of your program. You must meet those requirements in order to graduate. So engineering student is one. Also Bachelor of Commerce students, the co-op is mandatory. Also health information science students, also their co-op program is mandatory. So other programs, there we have a lot of programs, co-op is optional. This doesn't mean that you should not apply. Actually, you should still apply for co-op. We encourage all students to apply for co-op, at least for one term. So if you apply for co-op, you can typically do up to 16 months of a co-op month, so it's 4 terms. And then while you are working and gaining professional experience, you can also it will also have income to finance your education or to finance your living costs. So this is a great way for you to have hands-on learning experience, also to explore what kind of jobs you really want to do after you graduate. You know, the one term you can work for this company and then you were like, that's not for me. But then the next time you can work for other industry, but related to your program. So you have more knowledge about what actually these companies do, or what you actually want to do after you graduate. Also, we have a co-op office. Dr. Dennison also mentioned that we have designated co-op advisors for each program, not just engineering. So you can always talk to them, and then they will also help you with writing resumes or prepare for mock interview. Also, kind of check in with you even after you started your co-op. So make sure your co-op work term is going to be successful as you hope. So co-op schedule, this is a sample co-op schedule. So maybe engineering students may go on a co-op a little bit earlier than this sample co-op schedule, but often students will do their first co-op after year 2 has been completed. So in the summertime, you can do a co-op. And then also you can put 2 co-op terms together. So you go on a co-op term in the summertime, and then you continue your co-op term in the fall, and then return to school, take some courses, and then go out again. So it's really up to you. So you can discuss these options with your co-op advisor, and then what plan would work best for you. And these are some of the co-op employers. So there's Tesla, of course. There's Tesla, the internationally well-known companies, Google, Microsoft, but then also there's a BC Wildlife Federation. There are local employers as well. So we have more than 1,300 organizations of all sizes hire UV co-op students. Also, we have in Victoria, we have a booming industry, more than 900 tech companies in Victoria. So there's lots of startups and established the companies. So as I mentioned, that also our co-op advisors will help you to apply for jobs or search for jobs that you wanted. Also, beside the co-op, there are other ways for you to get hands-on learning experience as well. So international exchange is one. So depending on what what you really want to learn, or we have more than 140 partners in 42 different countries around the world. So we will allow students to study 2 full semesters abroad and then take courses, and then those courses will count towards your degree at UVic, and then you will only pay UVic tuition. Another option is international field schools. International field schools is often shorter than exchange program. So often is about 3 to 6 weeks long. And then here also you will have, it will include intensive classroom study before the trip, and then you go on a trip, and then of course you will get the hands-on the cultural learning experience during your field school as well. And then also we also have a local field school experience as well. So there's a lot of options. And then we have International Center for Students. So International Center for Students will help students to look into these options. Also undergraduate research opportunities for our undergraduate students. So of course, as a biomedical engineering student or engineering student, you will have opportunities to start your own research, but you don't have to be in lab, you don't have to be in a science program to start your own research. So you can come up with your own research, or you can get involved in already ongoing research projects. So one of like this, the HEN project. So I think this is very related to biomedical engineering program. So this is where students will go produce 3D printed prosthesis, and then ship them to countries across the world where these are expensive and difficult to get. So so while you are at UB, you can be part of the project, and then also you can help people who need things like this. And then also, of course, student life is very important. So we have over 150 student clubs on campus. And then we have 30 sports and recreational clubs. We have 12 varsity clubs, sports clubs. So you can look into all these options if you are athletic, or you want to be part of a club who is dedicated to environmental, cultural, and then political causes, or other recreational reasons. There are services to support you. So of course, academic advising. Once you've been admitted, there is academic advisors that can help you plan courses, or if you want to change your program after you've been admitted to UVic, but you are not interested in the program anymore, then also academic advising team can help you as well. There is counseling services, of course, and there's International Center for Students. There is Office for Student Life and multi-phase services. So there are a lot of options and the support that we are ready to help our students. There are student scholarships, of course, depending on the curriculum you are currently studying in high school. So if you are a high school student, if you are in an IB program, there is a scholarships for IB students. If you are studying in a Canadian curriculum school, then there is a scholarship for Canadian curriculum students. If you are currently studying the national Indonesian curriculum, then there is international student scholarships. And these scholarships usually you don't have to apply. As long as you applied by the deadline and submitted documents by the deadline specified, then your application will be considered automatically for these scholarships. There is the campus tour video that you can just watch at your home, maybe on the weekend or on the bus or on the subway. So there is a great campus tour, and then it's guided by one of our amazing campus tour guides. Or there is a virtual tour here too. So these are more like you can make stops at all buildings on the campus, and then you can start, you can take a look around, like a kind of street view when you search for places on the Google Maps. So it has more real images of the campus. We are on a social media as well, of course, including TikTok. And then there is a lot of videos for you to explore on our YouTube channel. So this is UVic. It's specifically for our prospective students. So there are a lot of videos, and there is vlogs as well. So you should check out. Also, the last one, My UVic Life. My UVic Life is a student blog. It's written by our students and not edited by UVic staff at all. So you can actually have you can just have a more understanding of the real experience, how it is like to be a student at UVic. Starting in the summer, and then more in the fall, we will have lots of events and activities, so including some virtual events as well. So like Discover UVic is more like this one, but it's a little bit longer. So we'll tell you a little bit more about UVic. And then after you apply, we have a presentation about next steps. And then after you've been admitted, you will have a presentation about registration 101. And there is a parent night as well. So your parents, unfortunately, it will be only in English. So if your parents are interested and then okay with English, then also they can sign up for parent nights as well. So one way that you can sign up for you can receive updates about our events and activities is to sign up for our mailing list, or you can just go to our website, uvic.ca/connect. Then we will let you know when we have events, and then we are not going to overload you with too many emails. So another one, this is the last part of my PowerPoint. So this is actually custom view book. I wanted to let you know. You may have seen a lot of university brochures, or often called a view book. And the view book has a lot of information, but it's for everyone. But with this custom view book, you can choose information you are interested in learning, and the support to our programs you are interested. And then you will customize it for you, and then you will just have the information you want to know. And then after you have your custom view book, you can share it with your parents, or family, or your friends. So the one way that you can create your custom view book is go to our website, or you can scan the QR code here. And we are not collecting any of your information. Even if you customize your view book, we won't know that we won't know that you created something, and then we won't be starting to sending like emails because you customized your view book. So you don't have to worry about that. At the end of the custom view book process, it will ask you for your email, but the reason it's asking you is to send the copy of your custom view book to your email. So you have the link to share with others. And then also, I wanted to mention that earlier, that somebody asked about admission requirements. Admission requirements are based on your curriculum. So either you are a high school student, and then what curriculum you are studying, or if you are a transfer student, so if you are attending a post-secondary institution right now. So there are different admission requirements will apply. So for example, just in general, regardless of your curriculum, so you will need a senior level math, you will need a senior level physics, and then you will need a senior level chemistry. Of course, there will be other requirements. So like you must complete up to 12-year academic curriculum. Also, there is English language proficiency requirements. So either depending on your curriculum, you may be able to demonstrate it through your academic studies. But if you are currently studying in the national Indonesian curriculum, so then you will be most likely asked to provide IELTS or TOEFL. So there are different ways. There are a lot of information on our website as well. So that concludes my presentation. So I hope that this presentation was helpful and then provided you more insight into the University of Victoria.
Wonderful, Sungjin. Okay, thank you so much for the session, for the presentation, and thank you so much everyone for attending this info session. Always follow our social media and you will know whenever other webinar is on schedule. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. This is the end of the session. Thank you so much, Sungjin, for your information, and thank you everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.